Today, I want to talk about a big question. What should you look for in a godly man? With so much dating advice out there, it can be tough to figure out what truly matters. But the Bible gives us powerful insights into the qualities of a godly man. Someone who will build you up, grow with you in faith, and honor God. So, let's dive into what to look for when you're hoping to find someone who shares your values and wants a Christ-centered relationship. 1. He has a personal relationship with God. First and foremost, a godly man loves and pursues God personally. Matthew 22 verse 37 reminds us, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind." When a man loves God with his whole heart, it shapes everything else in his life. Look for someone who doesn't just go to church, but truly seeks God's will. You want a partner who prays, reads the Bible, and has a real relationship with Jesus. When God is at the center of his life, he'll be better prepared to love you in a healthy, God-centered way. 2. He shows humility and teachable spirit. No one's perfect, and a godly man knows this. A sign of maturity is the ability to be humble and open to growth. Proverbs 3 verse 7 says, "Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil." Look for someone who's willing to admit his mistakes and who values learning from others. A man with a teachable spirit is willing to grow, both spiritually and personally. You want someone who can receive advice, pray for wisdom, and accept correction, rather than someone who is defensive or arrogant. 3. He respects and honors others. A man who honors God will also respect those around him. Romans 12 verse 10 encourages us, "Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves." Notice how he treats people, especially those who can't give him anything, like waitstaff, co-workers, or family members. A godly man will show love, patience, and respect toward others because he knows each person is created in God's image. Respect and kindness aren't just for you. They should be values he carries into every relationship. 4. He shows integrity and lives with consistency. Integrity is huge. You want a man whose actions align with his words. Proverbs 10 verse 9 says, "Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out." Integrity means he's trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Look for someone who lives the same way in private as he does in public. A man of integrity doesn't compromise his values, and he's someone you can count on to make choices that honor God. 5. He pursues purity and sets healthy boundaries. Purity isn't just about physical boundaries. It's about respecting each other and honoring God's design for relationships. 1 Thessalonians 4 verses 3 to 4 says, "It is God's will that you should be sanctified, that you should avoid sexual immorality, that each of you should learn to control your own body in a way that is holy and honorable." A godly man respects boundaries, not just to protect himself, but to protect you as well. Look for someone who values purity and is willing to make decisions that honor God, even if they're challenging. A man who respects boundaries is someone who respects God's design for relationships. 6. He serves and puts others above himself. A godly man has a heart for service. Jesus was the ultimate example of this. And in Matthew 20 verse 28, we're reminded, "The Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve." Notice if he's willing to serve others with joy and humility. Whether he's helping family, friends, or even strangers, a godly man puts others above himself. A heart for service shows he's compassionate, empathetic, and prepared to build a relationship based on giving, not just receiving. 7. He has patience and perseverance. Life isn't always easy, and a godly man is someone who endures challenges with patience and faith. James 1 verse 12 says, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him." Pay attention to how he handles stress and setbacks. Does he lean on God, or does he react impulsively? A man who is patient and perseveres through difficulties is someone you can depend on to stand strong in faith, no matter what life brings. 8. He communicates with honesty and openness. Healthy communication is essential in any relationship. Ephesians 4 verse 15 encourages us to speak the truth in love. A godly man values honesty and isn't afraid to have open, vulnerable conversations. Look for someone who is willing to share his thoughts, listen to yours, and approach disagreements with respect. A man who communicates openly creates a safe space for both of you to grow together in understanding and love. 9. He has a clear vision and purpose. A godly man doesn't wander through life without direction. He has a sense of purpose and is actively working toward goals that align with God's calling on his life. Proverbs 16 verse 9 reminds us, "In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." Look for someone who's driven and intentional about the path he's on. A man with a vision is more likely to have a grounded relationship with God, and he'll want a partner who shares that sense of purpose. When he's focused on God's calling, he's more likely to lead a relationship with clarity and direction. 10. He prays and invites God into the relationship. Finally, a godly man invites God into every part of his life, including his relationships. Philippians 4 verse 6 encourages us, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." You want someone who prays for wisdom, guidance, and strength, not just for himself, but for both of you. Prayer shows he's willing to let God be at the center of your relationship. It's also a sign that he's willing to rely on God's strength rather than his own. So, here's a quick recap of what to look for in a godly man. 1. A personal relationship with God. 2. Humility and a teachable spirit. 3. Respect and honor for others. 4. Integrity and consistency. 5. A commitment to purity and boundaries. 6. A servant's heart. 7. Patience and perseverance. 8. Honest and open communication. 9. Clear vision and purpose. 10. A willingness to pray and invite God into the relationship. Remember, nobody's perfect, and these aren't a checklist for the perfect guy. Instead, they're qualities that show someone is on a journey of growth and faith. Look for someone who reflects these traits, and don't forget to work on these qualities in your own life too. Thanks for watching. If this message encouraged you, hit that like button, share it, and subscribe for more faith-based content. And remember, God's plan for your relationships is better than anything you could imagine. Stay blessed.